Conversation is actually beyond the shareholder and the customer. I think I have a personal view that it's stakeholder agility, so even the employees are central to the conversation. If you have the stakeholder agility mindset and you're mapping appropriately, your insistence and consistency in the change approach involves everyone. It doesn't only start from the boardroom, it starts from the bottom as well. So managing the top in terms of aligning the strategy along the paths of agility with the various stakeholders are very important. At the bottom, how are you engaging your 30-year-old Ismon, your 30-year-old team members who have very little skills but have the right mind to become different? When you have that happening, you can create change. The people, I like to use a word that Patricia uses more, reinventing your people. Reinvention is upskilling to correspond to the change you want in terms of agility. Reinventing means also creating an employability, aka entrepreneurial mindset, so that even if they cannot fit into your new structure, they can become self-employed. And that's where I think as a country we need to dial up our educational system and our services across public service, paralegal companies, and even some private institutions. When people become very employable, using the employability agile mindset, that is where all our natural resources can become used to develop to our total country development. So in people managing for agility is both internal and external. So we have to think both ways for the greater good. In the context of stakeholder management, your external is your government, your policymakers. When you're able to have that agile mindset and you have the buy-in from them, that's where you have flexible policies. And that's where you have a continuation. I am not by all means NPP, but your one DF, one factory thing can work. Because you can have a connection between laying off staff at Vodafone or Guinness Breweries and creating a workforce for them because they have basic skills that we have invested in to train them. You know what I mean? So if there's a partnership through agile thinking and all the stakeholders are properly aligned, nobody really feels bad about having to be cut down and then exited because they have a better plan to be an entrepreneur outside.
There's pressure in the middle. How do we manage that pressure so it's not distracting? Have I paraphrased? One more demerit from the back, then we move to the front.
Your direct or line manager does not buy into that. There's frustration.
Okay, so let's go back one step. The change management process that Patricia spoke about, if you don't change your whole company and you have only pockets of people who are signed on to the change, you dilute the effort. So from the very beginning, you have to identify a strategy to make sure that everybody is on board the change journey or the change bus. So if your line manager is an obstacle, they don't believe in the change of agile working, that's your number one barrier. So mindset shift should be total company. Have I paraphrased? Okay. Other contributions, demerits. Yes, ma'am. Team bonding, in what way?
Because this is a situation whereby you don't get to meet each other often to actually bond and then work. So, I mean, you are working separately from your homes.
There is a point about team bonding, all right? We are human beings, social beings. We are used to seeing each other and touching each other and then just connecting physically. But agile working from home, you don't have the opportunity. In what way?
But you work in a team.
In what way?
You are given a target. You are given.
So you are looking at it from a results perspective.
Yeah, that is it.
She's coming from the angle of the process of getting the results, the journey, the human touch, the non-verbal cues, the smell and feel of the person as you build it. If you are focusing only on telecommuting as flexibility in agile working, there's more to agile working than just that. Access to logistics and equipment. So there is a bit about the physical assets that you don't have access to because of technology. You can't have access to a production line unless it's robot driven, for example. So there is limited access to the full fleet of assets in the company when you have agile workers who working from home. So may I suggest that we subtitle our agile working telecommuting. So we are focusing on flexible working hours. That's what we are doing right now. Because there are different aspects of agile working. Can we agree to that? Am I imposing or we have an agreement? I'll put a straw man up. Okay. Other thoughts around agile working, demerits? No regulatory working hours.
Because you're working from home, so you are combining the private life plus the work life. So no one is regulating. You can do whatever you want to do, but at least you know you have some objective to follow. So I see it as a disadvantage because there's no recruiting.
My good friend, the situation at the back is that it's fluid because there is no difference between your private time and your work time. So the working hours are fluid. So it could be more or less. Nobody's controlling or watching what you're doing. And therefore, the indiscipline of not working throughout.
Second.
Because the tradition is that we are moving from right to left.
Okay.
Agile means how best can we ensure that the customer's changing needs are being met consistently. And so customers' need is, they want to know, colleagues want to know what Agile is. Okay. I'm handing the mic over to you.
Great. I think I'll do with this, yeah. Thank you very much.
Before I respond.
This is real customer service, yeah. So I look at, or we from Hollard look at Agile Working from two perspectives. Taking away the boundaries and still staying within the guiding principles. So no brick and mortar, but all that is expected of you, you still must get it done. So we give the opportunity to the employee to decide where to work. Is it from his bedroom? When to work? Is it midnight? Or within the 8 to 5 period that he's going to work? How he was going to do it? Is he going to do it by his PC or is he going to do it on his tablet or on his phone? This tells you that technology drives agile working. You know, let me give a typical example. If this program was to be held under an agile environment, I'm sure there would have been a lot of savings, is it? Would have saved fuel, isn't it? Nobody would have driven here. And the issue of traffic and all of that. It took me almost about 3 hours to get here. So what we say that we take away the boundaries. So if this was to be done online, all we needed to do was to have your PC or have your phone and then hook on to this program and get all the information that you needed to get. So yes, agility as far as we are concerned is basically taking away the boundaries and still staying within the guiding principles that you would have done under the traditional scope as well.
So for us, it's more about ensuring that the ways of work are relevant to the customer need and shareholder value. Bottom line. Because come what may, we are in business to ensure that the shareholders get value. And also the customers get their almost daily, hourly changing needs being met at every point in time. So it goes beyond just the flexi working to even working environment, ways of work. It talks about simplicity and speed to meet the customer need. And it goes beyond.
Me being in HR, I was seeing that with our teams. I mean, this is a software-driven company where we know we have to meet our the customers needed certain platforms to be met. But
yes, so very, very, very big. That is why you are saying that monitoring in itself will not be a demerit, except that it can, it can play both sides, depending on how we see monitoring what you are looking for. Right. I think that from what you are saying, one of the key, it will not be a demerit, but one of the key things that I was talking about as underpinning agile working is the kind of culture that you drive. Right. It's the kind of culture, and that is what it comes really at our doorstep as HR people. Okay. So when we get there, so let us talk a bit more about our demerits, and then we will get to the culture and stuff. What kind of structure do we have? What kind of mechanism do we have in place to say that if we were to be on Skype at 9 and you are not there at 9, what is the sanction? What is the consequence?
In actual sense, that's a demerit because I, the individual who knows that I'm supposed to be in a Skype meeting and I'm not there, I'm abusing the system. Just because our system is so agile, maybe I'm in the finance department. Right. I was in a meeting room in the finance department. I can log in there and be in the meeting. But I go talking to somebody because I think that I have an issue that I need to respond to. Right. before the meeting, and therefore I go doing that.
Okay.
That is an abuse.
Okay, so it's an abuse. You are trying to say it's an abuse of the system, right? And what is the demerit in that?
The advantage is that we don't get to the results that we want.
We don't get the result that you want.
The productivity we are all talking about is not achieved in the right time.
Okay.
And then the efficiency is not 100% like we want it to.
I'll ask a question.
Yes.
But that's something that could happen in any system.
Yes.
It's not specific to
No,
Agile.
but this is a demerit because we are talking about it. We are talking about Agile. It's also
Let's.
So I'm just wondering.
so regardless of the system, that abuse could be there.
So we can have any of the abuses that we have in a non-agile system.
Exactly.
But is that a demerit?
All right. Okay. So yes.
Yeah, so it's, I think we're saying the same thing there, but regardless that it is widespread, whether it's agile or not,
It is a demerit.
and I think it's even what we're saying is even a higher risk
Okay.
of abuse or easily. I'm sorry,
Eugenia, yes, okay. So Eugenia is saying that there's even a higher risk of abuse when you are working in an agile environment. Okay, because people have all the time to themselves to kind of decide to do what they want to do at any point in time. Okay, so we take that point as it's a demerit, right? But without wanting to stretch it, is the deliverable